Yo, abusuafo aha ye Bethel Radio and TV. Aha na Ghana kasa, aha na Wiase kasa, aha na UK kasa. Ene mosomfo Thomas Ohineba Boachi, majimedwa a yebedi nkomo, Bethel Nkomo, sede dane de nyina ye de bremo no. Ene ampaye ebedwa ofi ha. Ye maniji ye ma ho bebre. se menya panyin kese pa a oba nsentro adwuma yi mu a odi mu akotene obone ho modern ye a wiase nyina hwe no ene menya no wo eye Bethel Radio and TV asana ebekọ no ma memfa akonya we so na menchia tiefo ne ahwefo nyina mo a mo hwe o YouTube mechia mo saa so na eye TikTok mo a mo hwe ho saa so na Facebook live and na the latest one Twitch and also ye dia beka ho mo a mo hwe nyina mechia mo ene anwumre ba Bethel Radio and TV so ansana ebekọ no ma memfa aboafo a ene omota machi a medi dwumadie Bethel Nkomo ebremo no eye Livingstone Hair Care. Yes, Livingstone Hair Care. Or say passion for quality and dignified care. Omo enene omo asoma sina me de Bethel Nkomo ebre o say open living in care, personal care, dementia support, learning disability, care for older people. We are specialists in care service. Omo ene soma sine se wo panyini bi ofie na ne hododo no pe obi ama na hwe no pe adwumaku ama ya hwe no abafie aba abehwe no ama ne ho aye kama ama bibia akoso a eye Livingstone Healthcare omo ena ombetimi aboa ama bibia akoso aye kama eno ba ko ne adwumaku a ne omo so masene so na Atalia Nursery so eye school sunko a epiemu wo eye Boramwood a chese ope oba amana ko school ade enya ntete pa asua de na obafia wo hu se ampa wako school a Atalia Nursery omo Boramwood omo ye 10 minutes walk from Estri and Boramwood station ye gym crowd from 1 year to 16 years say ope part-time care after breakfast and after school club, half day care, holiday care, school run service, drop off and pick up ni nyina ye ewo Atalia Nursery. Tu betima frɛ adwumakuo no na oni omodinsa wo so da ne da nyina na omaje so. Saa so na Bethel photography and videography. Lumba nsemi eba on pese bibesi na ope bi ama ye twamfoni na de ato dachi asemti a for woni kire Bethel photography and videography. So ye wedding, say ye fashion show, engagement, maternity shoot, Christian graduation, bibia odi woni kire Bethel photography a ye bejo so. Samri ameka say 15% off ofreya ye beba ba be ye adwuma na ma within 24 hours now sa aka ye wadwuma nti fa woni kire ye Bethel photography and videography ubetima from 0754834267 ye Bethel photography and videography sa so na Palm Island ope baby adidi ama ho ato se Ghana aduane na ope bi adi na wadidi ope nwramunam nkwan fufuo benku abetie chinchinka enam bia ope bia ensa so a ope Ghana nsa onum bia che ye Fanta Ghana Fanta beer ene pito ne nsa fufuo nyina na obenya bi wo Palm Island omo housed in tifa woni kire ho na ombeje so na omo ahwe kama pa sa so na adwumaku a etoso Top Connect. Yes, Top Connect adwumaku a o pesa o send this card call Ghana within a minute o send ya now akotom say krodo inti no Top Connect no o send ya yen charge o free inti so o send this card call Ghana dia for oni kire Top Connect na omo na betimi aboa ma wotimi enya de ope na onsa kan osika tentem kra without say ye be charge you bibia inti for oni for woni kire Top Connect nti hye so pa ma me pa Top Connect no sika no ya so a free nti mo hye so yie pa ma me Top Connect omo na ene omo so masene ama me de Bethel Nkomo ebremo nti obetimi ahwe o Facebook wo Bethel Multimedia saa so na Twitter obenwe YouTube ye wo ho saa so na Twitch and TikTok nyina no obenya ye wo ho obetimi afre in time no so obetimi afre 0754834267 na wo de wadwen kire de aba Bethel Radio and TV ewo anwumre yi And then me call straight away. You open your cassia pa wo yenchen wa ha sei. Na men shem ho kra men sembre na me mana kwaba na ya twetwe nkomo. De ni be pie UK. Enwumrei de ntia wo ha na ya twetwe nkomo about Ghana. Said the Ghana eko hu ni sei omo program bi wo Ghana ye friend no ekosi sei ye bebusa no ho asem wo ha sei. Opanyi kase na manya no ye friend no Omanhene Kwabena Asante. Chairman Omanhene Kwabena Asante. Oye host Adom TV ene Adom FM. Sa so na ekosi sen co-host motene nkapa ho. Ene Bethel Radio and TV. Jumakui yenya opanyi kase pa ha se ya. Ye ne betwetwe nkomo enya asem kitu akra. Opanyi me mawajoba Bethel Radio and TV.
Well, me Josu, me da si piece. Me sumenya akwanya me bekasa Bethel Radio and TV. Me jiri se haye boko de.
Radio Adom boko.
We everybody boko.
Yo, me mawakwaba me say neso wawoda kese pa.
Yes.
Me ma happy birthday eba Bethel Jumago nyina ma happy birthday Nyankopon nhira onye okese na onye wakoma so ade nyina ma.
Amen pa be da si pie na ma woda honestly na ni kwa senka we be din komonso ye de why the asem is that the case nti nyame adom mabaye be hwede bitima ya aboa ami Nkomo na koso
Yo, Mami Musa we so far why century kese na eneso ye special day no. How has your journey been so far, both private, in person, and your profession as a journalist?
Well, we are hope we say our best strive for the best. And the baby I share if you know what we have told ourselves and say there are all those hindrances, the challenges, but it's not been smooth. But truth is that Yansu unyamia boy kakra you start free Brekum through to Techiman to Sunyani to Kumasi to Accra. So we've been around for the past 28 years.
Wow.
in on radio and a TV bekao. Nti mijidi say yakumbi. Nti yeguso ye pem so say we can get to the ultimate by episode.
And aye maniji aye mahoho bi mu bi no dani de nyina ye ti onka yesu say nyina ye ti onka o man Adom TV kusi sen Mami Musa, how is the profession journalism in Ghana no
Well, it's good. Every profession be you may be or of course we didn't say bad not so. And quite challenging, you know, especially in Ghana. I know in other jurisdictions we're very challenging, but Ghana, you know, our level of partisanship, you know, I every facet of our life. Into we are centurion now pursue brani. Now per se party beko aban beko individuals beko ukosku kurasa 2 million munyamna. It doesn't come easy. And Beka say difficult, but once you have a focus, Bibi America, so MPP and NDC says ensure there any problem. But the moment Albinia Quenya Tana Casafidi, a be problem. Not because our responsibility is to do and say what is right. It is MPP, not MPP now also. Adia Kwachiwa, you need to address it because you have looked beyond MPP, or getting the bigger picture Ghana. So NDC at this current moment, you need to agree. Said the because we are yes international. As I say, with me, YouTube now said yes, all because the end game is Ghana must win, not a political party. Indeed, definitely Jumano, quite difficult and challenging, but of course we are pressing on.
Okay. Na Mami Musa say Ufi say Jumano kona nimu ana say you
but information you need baby dark. You might not like the approach, you might not like the pace, but baby information is there. Hey, anything
na difficulty no fit say adwuma no kona nimu so emu ye
oh so be all focus na say ni munyam na ba kese na say inshire ba kese cry. You should know that attached to those things may be a lot of issues. So as I say, it's a game where if you don't get your focus right, there are a lot of trappings along the line. You know, there are a lot of juicy stuff. So one you careful. There are a lot of and you my friend in Tuma one who you don't say can how can say bro. Journalism, there's a thin line between being a journalist and being a man of God, because yours is to uncover what is covered. So I say yours to make sure it's where there is darkness, no, you bring that light out of that place. Go into the world to preach and to make sure say baby assume be high about. It's an interesting job, but quite difficult and challenging, just like any other job. Risk factors are very, very high, because that's one profession out here. Because your ultimate is to bring out the best nokoredi principles and honesty, and that's very important.
Yo, abusuafo enanwumre ye ne eye opanyikese pa omahene kwabena sante na etwetwe nkomo Bethel Radio and TV. Senior Mami Musa so far no what witness under the Fourth Republic government abanko ebiko. So far, how do you see our governance system in Ghana?
Your challenge, because you need principle. Our bane has been that we are all not truthful. The way I able money is say, "Yankasi enuni yahu," and yes, really, if he say we are developing ourselves. So I've said it several times. On my own person, all day embrabeyejuma. On my own, selective when it comes to the application of justice. On my aketa proye, monye imagine se mobeko, na mo pretend se moko. On my we've had conversations around Galamsey for the past 16, 20 years. We've not gotten a solution. On my Accra to Kumasi Road, ABC na me no kaze me Form 5 1989. Na Accra Kumasi Road, Makasa Accra Kumasi Road. Na edahose ya such a major road. Ye kasa sisi Accra Kumasi Road. Abaye a death trap. It's deteriorated. So what I say. All the time I say maybe what changes in Ghana is that let us not change it from NDC to MPP or from MPP to NDC. But the real responsibilities of Amemuno, I think we are yet to see it, because all of them, the optics need a match for them. They be done a new and it's ready who never my so. But when it comes to practicability, difficult for us, because we are tasked to say the intro any nada. You understand? And the way any boom man. You could be also in trone nada. Fapima udi boom mine. The problem can see what we have done to ourselves. About we qua not for bar, no about accuse the previous one. Say with the omunyo cry, with the better cry, it be crazy. That we saw about non so cause with the young Mamudi and we didn't give him the basic cry. Now we are boss who we know or bokro no tipper tracks me no so about no corner no bone. We saw because bokro no tipper tracks bear 20. So it's interesting how we are building this country. Intermediate, they be America. We are not yet there because our mindset is a problem. We are not yet there because principle is a problem. We are not yet there because deceitfulness and dishonesty and propaganda are the hallmarks of politics. And that's so sad.
Mami Musa, what can be about Galamsey? Asemwa Nkomo Ekoso, previous governments and this the current government. Ufi say the abina ye no say omo ye the chance na say so far no intimi mo ye homodin ye wo Galamsey.
But for politics we would have gotten a solution to Galamsey. Say nye amanyo sema ye ya ehuni mfa so anka ibinyan illegal mining, ibinyan wedru. You know, all governments from the days of President Kufuor, the late J. John Rawlings, Professor Mills late, I mean for the currency, John Mahama 1 and another John Mahama 2. Clearly, we have just been political with illegal mining. In China, maybe I mean, best me the issue about and I buy we ban or 74 days basically na we call no cofa. What is necessary is that ye nye ya adwene say ye pese ye kuntia a former good year to into the council because ya adwene anka maybe baby I don't know kwan wapa and will be another no. Nothing has changed. We are still doing and practicing that illegality. Buying gusu bought a car. Ya boy free me something by you any improvement. Simply because when the MPP was in power for 8 years, they be had America mini Obi on Jason Sem and Obi. We kept on reminding Ghana for an MPP 42 say. Obi anyhow bit makutu for a good year within a certain regime any party money and a party madodon and yom no involved. Likewise, me ma copy to be bremu me dominance I can say dominance ni lembele ni maybe I be brave and I've started on radio and I've said it a cost one kasa say ubika so in fact the last one was 1 month almost ago ewo kumase ye fa kurubisu achemfo ase ne dumasi or dumakasi or something some ya ho nyina broad daylight ye illegal mining na Mr. Bisa say why ni benya kukudra ko illegal mining if sa nipa no nye highly connected or has presence in this current administration. So administration we call for free mu and administration we aba call for aba obeka man panyi kwenya okazana what has been happening is that say we eba no aka change as okay mo na maba intimate me free site mo so mun kudidi wo so yenso eba na it's just a matter of yeah, they try in circles, and we are pretending that yes, over that. That's why my car say maybe suggestion, but I say, young 32 or 35 million Ghana cedi. Then farmer in Sweden, they almost decemicalization. I said, let's not even attempt to do that because it's a joke. So yes, sir. Now on here in common us now we hear the an issue no penny. Into root cause, and say. We are involved in that illegality. The embrace illegality nasi. We've wasted time, we've wasted money, we've wasted our energy just because we've not been truthful to ourselves. The question be lack of principle, we are unnecessarily partisan, we are very dishonest, and we are not truthful to ourselves. Ghana problems in there because selective justice. How even we approach matters of legalities and matters of applying kind of say and all those things. No? The selectivity and favoritism is too much. Yeah, Kansas is here buying buru and the DT of my foka. And then but I can tell you that you can go to a lot of government institutions, any part of donor to how one office, the funny pay be a 4 to do a certain job. Which my colony pay 15 and 10 at my office back. Basically, they are doing nothing. And then our because we shall see. Yeah. That's what we have done over time. We don't create. We pile up. Now, they are pretending to the figures about one thing. We've engaged Ghanaians 1.2, 3 million. Now, for 1 million, we say a visible, whether casual or permanent. Over 2 million. It is sometimes I'm amazed at politicians trying to deceive us. Say, remember, crime wait to make the truth. And I'm my mama who quite the truth. Because sometimes when they are talking, we say, is it that they feel that at the end of more kind of say when you are nyansa na baby or matter yentina wa dana sebe suku o makoni enku bi dana say if you matter me yentina bi mu dana. Oh, it's strange. Some of their submissions, politicians. Some of the explanations, you can't believe it. You understand? So, media, the American answer is a question of mindset, our principles, and then our honesty levels. Our form don't know.
Mami Musa we why in Central near woka about a year governance ne a year nipa politicians as a journalist no Mami Musa was freedom of speech and I say more juma no monya kwenya no enya kwanya to me eka sansem we Emma Ghana 40.
Oh baby, the same member can't say more land requirement Ghana. Oh, that is not a good mark of a journalist. There's a many freedom you want to be kind of mean to me Ghana. Debbie Mecca. I know the Mecca war Nick Kwanso. Mecca and Debbie Adameka attain ye any a solution to a country's problem. If I disagree with you, my best tool is not to insult you, is to bring a superior argument as to why I disagree with you. But unfortunately, there will be me and Yadwin is young Nkomo AD Grana. Well, Yamian Pata, already the mayor man of us. That's not a solution to the problem. Inti mean to me, me can't deal with Hamenka of ye, M1. Because fear na me problem, no. What the old person would take the air cost on a second by fear the maca. Me say, a man yosema ya, young Nino Crema yahu. Intimin sijinaye, yanka say nra ne enya enenso enye. Se nra ne ya enenso eye. Yini principle. It maka over the time in Ghana. And that one everybody can attest to it. It ahadie maybe see me say mama kan so ama Ghana for dodo na. Onyame ya domo muti sabre hu say bibia ni wa akachiri. A collective responsibility. They mum yemre yone say offer your basket na ye no kwedi or form. Ye opepa says ye dey Ghana adwuma no any akeka no e form. That sense of patriotism e form. They be America me call America na Ghana for program na ye bo the Ghana national anthem. Ghana for United yo. Bibia in Kenya omo class. Ye bo America for the no. Omo kind of word after word. So I didn't follow them. I just had to write notes. Do you know why? Because they know when you die for America, it's worth it. So they know that when you are missing in action, America will come and look out for you. They know that America or mind may appreciate you. They know that America and where your mind in the crowd dilemma. Oh, bank and have a year for your mind in the crowd. So that feeling of equal peno. So what I say, Emma, Obia, Bibia, Oshi, Oyeni, Yankasa 77 from Swan, but it's so manageable. But we are being abused. You want to say outsmart me, Mr. Pesame outsmart you. Into Cronia outsmartest, Obia Pesu Bunia. Maybe the Bia that may count equity say, I don't make family TV. Miko Jum, Miko Tadi, may to watermelon and answer me to pay. Unipadobo say, Mimi Chia, Mose me is carefree Mecano. Me wallet mana wa mwa share obem ubeku fi na watermelon e fa pro na pere dia pro no the mount. The mindset is not with the politician alone, but
in general
it needs to be worked on for us to know that a baby beba senye na adechia ibibu akonta sa konta every profession we dwedini we shoemaker we presenter, we centuroni, we a doctor, we engineer, we president, we MP. So when people take up responsibility, they are hacking. Yes, you can say you. Debbie, ibebu hunkunta. Whether that on Judgment Day or on whether there's an appropriate time for you to account for the good things that you did. Ukufika o wa humjima. So nyuma public media we chairman aka say So that's why I always say Obia our responsibility to make Ghana stand. Me and fear any koto mampenyin kwaso. Me any for koto the members of parliament and I members of parliament and the ministers, so chief executives and our director general. No. All of us are contribution. And I be Ghana. Another major problem, we don't trust ourselves. So I think to be levels of trust, a problem. But I still believe that when you be Adam, ama debi Adameka, if you can't see a better into my pefra, and then Yakwa could do 69, still you return to my panel near the fra. I'm still hopeful that maybe when you're able to the renewal of our mind near to my front to my panel fra, because what do we lack? So I can say in Ghana, nothing. but the application of what we have and how we use it, and acquire problem.
Yo, it does say. On my hine Kwabena Sante na yenya no Bethel Radio and TV and in education Nkomo about Ghana. Mami Musa say and central for mo my Ghana no. Mutimi express mo ho freely. Kwenya no o ma obi timi kire na adwuna atiti bia na say o how bia new say obi ta ta.
If you start with me, I'll speak for myself anyway. I have not had that kind of challenge. It has not been rough, it has not been smooth, but I feel there's a certain feeling around the system that, as you say, the Ubekasakrana, na Ushrun, and all those things. I've said that Kasabia, we also are mindful of Kasa SSYaka. We need to be responsible. It been out of exuberance. Last time, a President Akufo-Addo Penso, when they were saying that journalists under attack, I said that which journalists are under attack? It's not to say them you're superhuman. But said Wadarma, and the central for the donor, a Juma Bibri, maybe a Mayan Kajuma. So it is a Mikoji, be named Tree, Semikoya Hujuma man. Then the terms and conditions are many a backfire, and I'm being attacked. That one, you're careful, I'm a journalist under attack. No, that's my private job. But people know me to be more of a journalist than to be a butcher. So what I say, and I said to be somebody working at the abattoir. And it's okay who say me will be kunto kwafa namwa. Who say any journalist under attack. I disagree. I feel that as journalists, in as much as you were kwanya si etimikasa near charge near no mabibrino, ya kwanya no so ya enchiche da ho. Wanu ntimi entra saa nkekanse ensem fata because we are century. Hona yana me de many enipa do na nya adwene. Ampa, we need to be protected. We need to be given all the room to operate, the freedom to operate, but no quarters the minia. Ye mu bi no kasa ni insembia ye kano. Sa ambokura e papa e busiem ana ese o mai. But we are still encouraging some of these things are healthy for a country's growth and a development. So I feel that there's that sense of a fear kakrebia abachichiri central for. But yeah, the Nyamias said the president who is now on a president fully registered with the Ghana Journalists Association. He's always been part of the journalism fraternity. Into those shortfalls na abba under an administration. Obeshe na wa corrected those shortfalls. Nama yenya omudio wanwa kandie, but what do I know na reflecting so the difference is so wide. So I believe that we should not be seen to be like it's true. I feel that we should come across as people who are doing our job with the caution and the diligence as a factor. Obi Betimaka said we are under attack. I will not entirely fault the person, but I say that as a journalist, we have a responsibility to be in a certain line during our line of duty.
Mamimra we adieba ko Ghana for me dane de nyina ye kan ho asem ye about corruption. Now fees Ghana no say corruption no ya making progress and say you are not na kan keke.
No, but what is corruption? Even time, we are corrupt with time. We are corrupt with our working attitude. We are corrupt with a lot of processes that leads to doing a lot of things in this country. We are compromised. That is why corruption will be difficult to fight. Even the corruption seminars are corrupted. That's what it is. Even the institutions of state some people have raised issues about their modus operandi in terms of giving room for suspicion. Until Omaino in its entirety, in as much as Yebo Homodino, Yanamunchu, ni and Kratani, and ni Suni Adrian, Baya, Yadi yet said, Ye Kunkata, and Nada. For instance, Yadada, say, Ye Quetia, ye illegal mining. So what you say, Yadada, a part of corruption. We are corrupted in terms of fighting that illegality. We've compromised. Again, you say, a corruption, teacher for a juma, and you are buying with pension. In Tiomoka. In the teacher, in our coach, 14 months. Oh, that's school coach. How are you expecting the teacher to leave? Clearly, you don't say, may cook at our channel for no coach 14 months in China, cannot so. It's not possible. You're that. So what I say, in MMDC so much we into omuka. Into we nso te ho a na all fan ho adwene. Into yen ko keta ahye ne pro yo. Because dey bi e wo krata nim engoma kasi nim no. Enioma ebo ebra ane de ye. Adenti na asuma si twa red light mu a. Na onipa fofo twa red light mu a. Na say nipa de e ja na man ko na de asuma si we court. Into every facet of yabra bona yebo no. We've been compromised. Yama ho kwan ama ye ni yesu ni ye bai ni nyama bebre amanye sme wo a kire se ye keka yanim e kire nyame sompa ba emu ahoden na nka se de we've left that thing out. We still not there. I still believe that obia obeka so koketa shene prayer oh my Ghana we are making strive. Let's put it somewhere. When we feel that I feel no one follow apart then we can come back to the table and discuss issues about corruption. But we had, say, for instance, this government, on matters of oral, we had the corruptible behaviors and acts of, say, the previous administration committee. What are we seeing? That's the point. So are you sure we are fighting corruption? Or we are disgracing people or maligning people or speaking on truth about people? Yeah. The previous administration, I was with them, we assume as the we seek and almost can you mark a say the say agony. Maybe we actually now I have watched it. So they know the game they are playing, and that's what they don't want to tell them. They know the game they are playing. Some of us we've seen through the games they are playing. We've seen through the issues of a lack of principle. When you say conflict of interest, there are definitions to conflict of interest. When you say gender, there are definitions to what is meant by gender. When you say Obiawo, the reason, and see, there's some party, there's some mind, that's the problem. There's some individuals, there's some mind, that's the problem. And see, we are still hopeful that Ghana for Binum Wahonoma still Ghana Hondo, ne Ghana Husru, a door Makomasun, for us to win that battle, all of us. And then we can say this is the Ghana that we all want. Yeah.
Yo, aha ye Bethel Radio and TV. Aha na Ghana kasa, aha na wiase kasa, aha na MPP UK kasa, aha na Ghana for UK diaspora nyina kasa. Ene in the studios of Bethel Radio and TV, mene Oman Hine Kwabena Sante of Adom TV, Adom FM. Ene eye ekosi sen ena etwetwe nkomo about Ghana. Sinema mi musao enkomo akoso o Ghana about LGBTQ+. Mami musao se enkomo na ekoso no hu se debate no ekosen na in terms of our culture and our legal framework.
Nana we so de ko wan. The entire enkomo no cry enkomo no say it's about principle and truthfulness. I'm looking for power. I say that I'll do it as and when I come to power. I'm in power. I say that so. It's a bill never told me we are dilly-dallying. It's just a matter of power. Because when you a matter for us to even go back and forth on this matter for all this while, the reason why it's becoming a discussion and a topmost conversation is that NDC are buying a CNP say they are not going to entertain all this matter. That's why sometimes I pity in painful home about he said Dr. Lawrence Tete, revered man of God. You understand? When some of them they about what they said previously and what they are saying now, I beg to differ, and in all humility, it's better not to talk. So I say principles na you need to know. Be affect yes, because if some few days back Dr. Lawrence Tete, who was an advocate for LGBT to be quashed, today has a different definition and understanding of it. How do we build a country? Principle. You are so for it through but what's happening in this country? So that matter, it's for all of us as a country. That's our hypocrisy. It's for all of us as a country to decide whether it is a yes or it is a no. This administration still keeps promising us, and it's just a promise. And I feel that they've deceitfully told us, say, I deal with the by between A, B, C, D, D. But a boy in Iso, a honor SSC who say, yeah, man, your seminar baby, and your quenya say, yeah, Cassa. yenye careful the way we go about our politics. It's a caution to all of us as Ghanaians, to all of us as politicians, and to all of us as journalists. It's here careful. Because among yourself is a beautiful business, but your levels of deceitfulness, any cowardice, any nyoma ye dear room, ama imujidino, imuha ana and I'm surprised that your politicians, they don't still see through what is happening in the country. It's very, very bad on that, yeah.
Yo. Medasipi, Mamimfa umra ye Yamanyoku, MPP. If you have say a Jumera, Richard, a Jareni Mes Dumbo, a BA TV station, say,
Dumbo, you're the MPP for Dumbo.
I am MPP for Dumbo. Nebaba, and a new Kuno, and a BA station, say,
oh, I see.
And moi, Bethel Nkomo about the party MPP, name okay, founding father. Dombo ne baba o UK ha na obi station say yemfa Mami Musa na no na MPP ye presidential primaries Mami Musa the way I see conductor no where you
conductor was say so your party that
were you satisfied?
Well, I've said it on my station or Adome FM and SMP. I've said it. We will always contribute to the discussion around MPP, NDC, and other parties because yes, we are major stakeholders. So say the NDC for who mobile MPP Ghana so. We are interested in what the party does. And they've taken their step to elect their flag bearer. What went into the MWSM? How you solve those spillovers, those shortfalls. But from where I sit, my judgment has always been that that's what people measure you with. You understand? And all the parties, and I said his name before, maybe I'm only the NDC has a way of managing its followers. But the NPP name say,
a boss.
When you are controlling the crowd in MPP, I'll say it's easier to tame the supporters of NDC than that of the MPP. So I know how the party, Momo party, be working around it. That's where maybe you can overcome most of the challenges that you see movies. But Obianim say the democracy from the majority of Muamunim that say Ahomaswone and you into Quankitin Kitini, Nanti Chichani in your mind, Fatano. It do be evidence a moment I can be in the Yakaka President for the change of rather Wasako Bonabasu as one of the finest, best finance minister we've ever had. The people said that they needed that change. So it was not those descriptions. And the president at a point in time, Okoto, he knew a program as no, I can say, oh, sorry. Now, Greater Accra Minister, then, also and Cranny, now, Okutiawa him for now, Okopem, Siankotua Bamawa, now, Jidis Ombede, Ometuama. So, a lot of things, even from where you sit in Volta region, the chief says that yes, you could die see you did no power to us. Party for a galamsey, or see to the best of my knowledge, we know all galamsey. And many other things are, and that's what is happening. Say politician young from Zonal 24 will be in a show which can be so when we kept on reminding them through our journalistic work, their thinking was that as of that time, and this will be there. I almost say Nim Cross, say baby free bano, John Mahamana, and Ghana man paying whom you move mobile. I know 5 feet touching my classic FM by the moment you criticize on that, I say John Mahama. And the happy thing is that when you are criticizing the NDC now, say, any cover bad now is it the NPP also. So it's interesting how people reason. Say if they don't see you by their side, they find all manner of things to tag you with. But your conscience is always the most important in the work of journalism. I believe that the MPP has reasonably a long way to go before it can get the full attention of the Ghanaian voter to reconsider and relook why they should come back maybe in the shortest possible time or otherwise.
Yo, minim say we the party mo assembly nenso no we presidential primaries internal election from polling station to the national level. What are your expectations?
Many expectations we are multi-tribal party nenso and criticize them. The good, the bad and the ugly. Enti mo na mo jano na munim say the ash. Mo na at this juncture munim the kind of people or personalities that mo say omudim to make sure some party your dream of coming back to power a better reality as you see 2028. But me the baby once you finish with whatever you are doing, the announcement I'm making now is that there's somebody about we will come and cover it. When we see the shortfalls, I'll draw the needed attention because I still see that once more potential government in waiting, say I'm correcting shortfalls be a problem. That's where we stand as the gatekeepers and watchers are. Yeah, they criticize both the MPP and the NDC. And I wish you all the best. Mona Munim, the kind of leaders that you want to lead your party at this point in time. And he said, Mosimope, Ashimetia, Mofanenko, Mosimope Bentia, Mofanenko, because your belief is that on no namu say I just the general secretary want to be winning general secretary so the party people, the understanding of internal party politics is different from my understanding of the internal party politics within the MPP. When it comes to the national discourse, I might have an edge over both parties because maybe I'm meeting them quite different from the party people to the so that's the point.
And na you who say opposition party wa bemono akochi opposition party member say or criticize ya buy no development by say na who no central for baby out
level playing field. I have disagreed with the approach in terms of arrest every blessed day. When it is so what I say because say we be chena join say on say ni be any dia and can be dem power mining power. Yeah, it's a saying. And sometimes when we call for equity, we all should come with clean hands. We have to call a spade a spade. It is not for somebody to say so you're bigger than the law. So it is very important. Nobody should deceive him or herself, say, oh no, the party or power and the party opposition to are bigger than the law. It's not true. But sometimes the approach of how we do some of these or effect some of these arrests and the issues for that arrest, it gives too much room for people to be suspicious about some of these things. But where I sit, I have said it, that is not helpful. It was avoidable. Because sometimes, but the tension that you even create in the system, you know the right time as a security agency or not to detect for them, but they weigh the mood of the country. Because some of these things, they bring you unnecessary tension, which is avoidable. You can go still and get the people's attention by avoiding that kind of Rambo style anymore. Now we are not used to these things. Yeah,
I'm for can say and this your more position and say more and your mobile who say a double standard.
Well, a reasonable percentage of in some kind any more acting in Chile and they no doubt about that. And then who grew about our politicians. Even if you remind them that when you were in a position, say na kaya, or say Debbie, who the old MPP who can cross who can be correct, there be the MPP in cabinet, one and can cook. The MPP is a Ghanaian, the NDC is a Ghanaian, the journalist is a Ghanaian, the trader is a Ghanaian, the businessman is a Ghanaian, the banker, everybody is a Ghanaian. And to be a who can say, dear touch you are, Utimi Kahwasem. It's not a matter of, say, we MPP and NDC. When the conversation becomes nationalistic, it's like, say, we're defining soul sourcing. You have 107 and 81 is soul sourcing. You still want to describe it as it's not an abuse beyond the definition of soul sourcing. I disagree respectfully. So what else? We've drawn the attention to it. We've drawn our attention to it. A lot of promises that they made, I feel the obu so mo asema na say omukasa na ya eka credit na enkoyesa, but that is not how we treat. And when you see that the times are difficult, There's absolutely nothing wrong to come and say. The President Kufuor did it. He did it. He apologized on one or two, or on occasion, on the number of ministers or so of PK. What is so wrong to say, well, when we were in opposition, this is how we saw it, and this is what we said. But but I'm waiting for that day a Ghanaian, maybe politician, the genuine chop training is a mechanism. Because they keep defending what they have said when they were in opposition and now when they have power. That's what we've been living with. Yeah.
And in your view, do you think that we are protecting the freedom of speech and how we do things in Ghana?
Well, Makacho, from where I sit, let's all be responsible and let's all be accommodating. Let's not be petty. You understand? Because the best description I can say now is that if you call for equity, come with a clean hand. So what I say, if you are not accommodating, if you are not petty, some of the things can be overlooked. No doubt about that. But I will say, Ubeka the preoccupation say freedom of speech, ne gagi ne sa na manemande a crime bisono, media to me entirely sa I believe that we can do better. And to Ghana Journalists Association, the president, Chairman, hey, man, you are a friend to the media. No matter community and say, me multimedia. The last cover a year about 2 year course, year mupia how comes in film. In your baba srow, near Bonner Nisu, na a mechanic which robo corner to a chat. So what I say, into a hard guinea, until I'm going to say 50-50. Ubi because say yedi who be shiny pem. Yes, and draw from Kwan, yedi shiny pem. So Muntimika say, quite be so you're tempted to believe. A quite be so that maybe a one-off situations be. As I sit here, I feel that we still have that freedom to operate. The responsibility on the part of those agencies, we are arresting agencies, no, any year as central fund. That's where the line is not clear. It's why you're careful that who said we are. But all of us, both our security agencies and then as journalists, a constitution, a lot of freedom to operate within. You're careful, as if say we are the thinkers of the time. You can't say be a penny that one, even as a journalist, respectfully, I have an issue with it. Yeah.
Yo, Oman Kobna Santi. Senior Sana Obeko finally and ne Ewa Woda. Mammy Musa, where dear now walk out, would they walk catch a young journalist from like some of us that we are coming here.
Well, and your journalist, Crababon, I think Abrabon, you can say Bethel radio and TV or Bethel Multimedia was not built in a day. So I say, it is a Uti now of Shana Ghana and I say, oh, if you don't expect that on the 24 hours and see Sabiawi and on the 24 hours in Yanisika or the 2 Sana movie. Our difficulty is that we need patience, but now we can't wait. We can't go through the process. Obia person, sorry, it is a question. And as a person, it's a despite, and as a person, it's a Ibrahim and Akufi Job, and I say, Obia person within a second. Or jump but messy. So maybe 27, 28 years in the media, and so I always say, me fan for Sadia, me catch your man fan for. You understand? Key to all what we have discussed is that keep your eye on the ball. So what I say, who need focus and a Nibrania Hoya and Nentipicha Eba or Brabum. Not the Biadano. I said, you're competing with somebody, but you're only competing to make sure one, your brand stands firm. The job that you are doing over here unique and exceptional, and the country or the constituency where you find yourself, continuous relevance. So all relevance, it's so much important in life, very important.
Yo, senior, you better was CP. Yes, I'm happy birthday.
Watching and what you know for the birthday. So. That Ghana form war UK teach Madam Wasi. I think the reports that coming here, the reports that I've gathered about Ghana for reasonable percentage of Ghanaians. I'm proud that they are working and they are doing their best to find a better living in this country, and then to also make sure somebody can grab a fee. now the teacher remittances that's what from UK no yeah yeah bompa say most mon kai ofi na momre fi if you na mobile nim say ene ma bibre ma mo mete teach Ghana for do omon sase ene omon nan amount for beat you to the game, you know. But we still have genuine estate people, estate agencies in Ghana, genuine people in Ghana, people who are committed to the cause of making sure the Ghanaian rise up, you know, in the country. The Bribia Damos person befia, one form into who ye, no be on fire 6 and animal 9. Mr. Radia, what did you in house? Say a year by now, when I'm here, no, the expansion will be so big. The media dance anyway.
Yeah, but that's ne eyo awoda na so no yetimi atwe na ye de opie na ho apa na ne ye betwetwe nkobo nyankopon hira opa na omunye wakoma so ade nyina makwatenten ne ahoden ne sika bebre onfa nomo na tifo so amohwe wo Facebook ne YouTube so no damasipi mu message dodo na aba nipa 500 na ehwe sia damasipi say mu hwe Bethel Radio and TV.
Oh yeah, we are mayor Ohana.
Bacho Devi.
Oh sorry, we were almost every outdoor program. Yeah, Mr. Ghana also. I see. What's the hatch on? Me call me by 2013. Tina say. And Chebia. Oh, issues kakra with how which one time man.
Yeah, 12 baby 2012 Supreme Court ye koya na me buy na. Wow. Me buy Drew me buy so no na me wofi na me ye party adwuma me buy ma beto so up to na me on stop.
How do you feel say we nearby now omujam was how do you guys feel? Well, I have a lot of friends in the NDC. Some feel say America formed the landing from this year job maximum. How do you feel?
Sometimes you know, yeah, na ebi mudi ya ode ba me so feel say nye nipa ni nyina. I must be honest, party ni ba be mu no. UK ha nipa be almost be 50 na do ma appointment.
Oh, 50.
Yes, right. In the media me feel say nye nyina na ebitimi enya appointment, but the party ni ba UK there. And now said diaspora na do born homodin appoint a lot of people into the government.
This is almost about power over Ghana.
See there me won mama akuma kunsia and
wow
me na kame tutu ado say me won makuma kunsia e wa ha
no munim Ghana
omo ba Ghana once
momra and omudi ne brofuni anase
brofo me
ye hu amani nti wo promote Ghana kakra
oh ye tutwi wo mu
but ka brofo fi
ye edifra
ene ushia Uganda ohine ba asidu
conference
ono na wo wuntumi no ushia na acha wo so no utwa picture offense
on de na ba betra krumu
zidi enti ono no dual citizenship obetimanya position Uganda na me won say Ghana is sense am ready mo
obetimi
so or your potential Ashanti regional minister Mamencha Dr. Amwako Frank Amwako hini is that correct?
Yes,
current Ashanti regional minister Mamencha no baby I will be Amecha Timis Medasi na me adme beka sechi
yo Medasi pi ebusuafo eye opanyi kese oman hini Kwabena Sante Adom TV ni ekosi se mu amutie de muta hu ne pa ono enene ye ne twitwi nkomo ewo eye efie awo ha se Bethel Radio and TV ebusuafo ye bedam ase se munya daje editie eye Bethel Radio and TV minim se record ye nenso no bre amema amayanke ka mo message mo amohwe wo Facebook ye chia mo pa nyankopon hira mo sa so na mo amohwe wo ye TikTok ene YouTube nyina no ye bedam ase se ne to nsa frɛ mo ana se ye bae na mahwɛ kama ma me fa konya we so na me na adwumaku ene omoso masene ma me de Bethel Nkomo de brɛ mo no ye Livingstone Health Care or say passion for quality and dignified care. Passion for quality and dignified care. Omona eso masene ma ne me de dwumadi ba sa so na Atalia Nursery so yes school so nko a PM wo eye Boramud ope oba amanako school amanani age esua de pa na adwuma bia eye Atalia Nursery omo 10 minutes walk from Estri and Boramud station ewo eye so na better photography and videography almost so masne ma me de ene dwumadie no ebremo ewo Bethel Nkomo omode ebremo so na Palm Island almost so masne ma me de dwumadie ma so na Top Connect so masne e ma ne me de dwumadie ebremo o send sika de akogana o pese de sika akogana Top Connect na ebeboa ma odi sika no akogana pa enti for oni kire Top Connect o pesika asend akogana within a short time na onse aka enti no Top Connect yo ne nyankopon ya aduma MPP UK programs e baso weekend weekend program e baso nyasem ketu akra woko North London ene nyankopon ya aduma North London omo meeting checheche pa nyasem ketu akra nti North London nyankopon ya aduma kwasia day 19th wo Domino Center Domino Center Wood Green omo North London chairman Mugabe dano no the chenchenche meeting chenchenche pa akra baso nyankopon ya adoma kwasia day so na ogudu ani kire Northampton so a omoso no meeting chenchenche pa Northampton so meeting ti munyina mo fo mo ni kire Northampton all roads to Northampton nyankopon ya adoma yebeshia ewo Northampton ti muma yencha ne so se yebeshia o Northampton kwasia day so na nyankopon ya adoma memory day communication officer for Bristol chapter Michael Ampadu Emotions or Tony Bedin enti nyina de anim be kire Bristol na yakoja Michael Ampadu Emotions nyankopon ya adoma memory day na ono so de ni a kire memory day ewo Bristol enti muma nyina enche so na yenua ba ko Benedicta so wo Merton Keynes ono so Merton Keynes Benedicta ono so na asia yie wo Merton Keynes enti de ni be kire Merton Keynes enti mo nche ne so se nyina so ye be ko Merton Keynes enti two programs na ekoso na wotwi awie ewo Merton Keynes and Bristol Benedicta na asio ewo Merton Keynes so na woko Bristol so a Michael Ampadu Emotions nyankopon ya adoma da foforo ebehia ene aha na me de Bethel Nkomo no ebesi medamase makramo